Hello class, my name is Sarah Medoff. I will be your instructor for this term, for this class, Econ 442, Development Economics. So a little bit about myself. I graduated with my PhD in 2021 from UH-Manoa. I worked as a fisheries economist at NOAA for about 2 years after I graduated, before transitioning to the private sector. So now I am a research analyst at a healthcare company called Aledade. But I do still love to teach at UH-Manoa, and I really grab any opportunity I can, just because I really like the academic environment. I didn't love it enough to go into academia, but I do love being a part of UH-Manoa. I was born and raised in Hawaii, and I think it's a really great way to kind of give back and help other students potentially like me. So I'm really happy to still be here and still be teaching classes. I wanted to put together a short video just to kind of walk you through the online classroom that I have built. And hopefully it's managed and organized very nicely and it's easy to navigate. But if it's not, hopefully this video is really helpful. So when you log into Laulima, I know there's a lot of other UH campuses that have transitioned to the new platform Lamaku. Our campus is still in transition through that process. So I still am using Laulima. And this is, the platform in which you can access the materials for this course. So when you log on to Laulima, you will see all your different classes on the top. Navigate to the tab that says Econ 442, and it'll first log you into this overview page. So this just kind of says how to get started. There's a picture of myself, my email address. There's virtual offices. This is outdated. It's not Monday through Friday. It's really just by request. Just shoot me an email if you want to meet. Happy to jump on a call. I think I'm like one of the only instructors at UH that still uses Google Meets. I can use Zoom as well. And if you're on Oahu, I'm also available to meet at UH-Manoa if that's easier. So there's not too much on this overview page. I don't really use the announcements tabs all too much. I communicate primarily through emails. So just keep checking your email constantly just in case I'm sending some information. You can go to the Start Here tab. So the Start Here tab is really going to just be a summary of the syllabus. I do have a welcome video, which I am going to repopulate with this video because this one is slightly outdated. I look a little bit younger, so I gotta represent myself well. And then it kind of just goes into just like basic summary, high level. How is this course structured? When are things due? Etc. We also have a course calendar that I had put up. I call these Flipgrid posts because when I first initially built this course, it was Flipgrid that I was using for discussion forums. Since I think last year, Flipgrid has been outdated. It's not around anymore, so we now use Padlet. I was a little too lazy to update this course calendar to reflect Padlet instead of Flipgrid. But anyway, discussion postings are going to be due on Tuesday, and then quiz and writing assignments are all going to be due on Sunday. That's not to say you can't hand these things in early. I just make them due on Sunday because I used to stagger the due dates, and I got a lot of, emails requesting extensions and things of that nature. So instead, I just pushed everything till Sunday. That gives you a full week to manage and organize your time with all of your other conflicting responsibilities like work and family, etc. So all of the weeks 1 through 4 are going to follow a very similar structure. It is only the week 5, the final week, that is going to be structured slightly different because we don't have Sunday. The course ends on a Friday, so everything is kind of like condensed into Monday through Friday, and we don't have this weekend, any days on the weekend to hand in assignments. I'm pretty lenient about late work as long as it's within reason. I have had students that continuously, habitually hand in work late. If it's a couple hours or a day or two, it's not that big of a deal. But if they, I've had students not hand any work in and then hand in everything in the last week of school or last week of this course and expect me to grade it. That I don't necessarily tolerate. So if you're a couple hours, maybe a day late in submitting your writing assignments, I can live with that. If you hand it in 3 weeks later, I may or may not accept it at that point. Quizzes are a pretty hard deadline. The quiz opens at a specific time and it closes at a specific time. So I think the settings are such that all the quizzes and assignments will be open on the first day, but the quizzes are going to be due every Sunday. And so make sure you submit that quiz for that week on that Sunday, by that Sunday. Because once the quiz is closed, I think you can hand in one additional submission and then that's it. So make sure you're cognizant and you keep up with submitting the quiz. So you're going to navigate to the syllabus tab. There is a syllabus quiz just to make sure we are all on the same page regarding due dates, etc. And then if you scroll down, there is a syllabus. The syllabus is embedded, so you can look at it straight through Laulima. You can open it up in a new window. And so all of the information will be here. So we have form postings, writing assignments, quizzes, and the final culminating project, which is worth the most in this course. So you can read up about the quizzes and the writing assignments and what I expect, but I want to talk a little bit about this culminating project. So for this project, you are going to choose a country and you are going to put together a slide deck. And it's going to be a 5-slide slide deck, and each slide is going to represent different aspects or characteristics of the country that you will have to research. You can submit your slide deck in 2 ways. You can either record yourself giving a presentation like I have. I think this is called ScreenPal or Screencast. It is free. I think there is a limit of 10 minutes or such, so be cognizant of that. Or if you don't want to deal with having to record yourself, you could always just submit a slide deck, and in the notes section of each slide, you would write a couple paragraphs explaining what you would say if you were giving this presentation in front of a class. This is going to be due, the slide deck is due on Monday of the last week. So week 5 on Monday, the slide deck is due. The rest of the week is going to be dedicated to catching up on work, reviewing the last lecture slide, taking the last quiz, and responding to 4 of your classmates' projects slide deck. So you will randomly or strategically pick 4 of your classmates. So that's 1 classmate per day of that final week. And you are going to review their slide deck about their country, and you're going to give a response to that. And so you're going to have to hand that in at the end of the class. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, you can see that every week is organized in weekly modules. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 week, and then the culminating final project. Review this tab. Do not wait until the last week to finally open this tab up and check, the instructions. But every other week you can work within the module for that specific week. So week 1, just click on week 1. All of the material should be here. I start off with kind of a really brief, description of what we're going to do this week. I always put in hopefully a fun YouTube video, some learning objectives. You have this, checklist that you can use. You don't have to, but it's there if you want to. Your discussion posts. So you can just click on this link, hyperlink, and go straight to the Padlet discussion form and post your introductions there. And you have access to the rubric. You also have access to the learning materials. So this is going to be the lecture slides for this week. So one thing I do want to point out with these lecture slides is, sorry, my Google Slides takes forever to load when I am giving a presentation. So on these lecture slides, there is information on the slide itself, but really the bulk of the information is going to be in these notes. So make sure you review these notes and study the facts that come up in these notes, because that is what's going to show up in the quiz for that specific week. You even have access to PDFs of the reading. There is no textbook requirement for this course, but I do provide some supplementary reading material in which the slides are based off of. You have access to the quiz, and you have access to your writing assignment, so you can just click on these directly to access those. If you go to the Culminating Project tab, this is where I give some directions, I spell out the deliverables that I'm expecting, I explain the peer response. This is basically taken from the syllabus. If you read the syllabus, you'll know what's in here. There's a sign-up sheet. I don't want 8 people choosing Tahiti as their country, so I want some diversity. Please go to the sign-up sheet. I think I depopulated it from last term, but if I didn't, I did not. So I will clear this out, and you guys are free to populate that with your name, your UHID, your country, and then you can add a comment if you want to let me know why you chose that country. Not needed, but some people like to do that. And then there's some project examples. So if you're wondering, like, what does she mean with this slide deck? I don't understand. Feel free to click on these. If you're still confused, reach out to me. We can jump on a Zoom call and we can talk about it. Here's the Google Drive where you're going to upload either your recording or your slide deck. And here is where you're going to have the culminating project, deliverables, and then the summaries. So make sure you are hitting, and all the due dates are here, so make sure you are hitting the due dates for this final project. And that's about it. I think you can access your gradebook. I would use this gradebook, not the Gradebook Classic. You can email me through Laulima. You can access your assignments. So it's all there. So I look forward, even though this is an online course, I look forward to hopefully getting to know all of you, or at least some of you. And yes, please reach out if there's any questions, and I hope we have an amazing course, and good luck over the next 5 weeks. Thank you.